How's everybody? This is the Erroneous One here, the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross video, and we're going to be doing the Daily Super Challenge quest. Because it's new, and it's content. So let's go ahead and take this on. This is the power one, so... Defeat 6 or more enemies, complete and continue, and complete with a cost of 129 or... Oh. Wow. That is actually funny. That's a power enemy, so we do want like a magic setup. I mean, I could use this one. But the cost. So we want a cost of what again? 129 or less to get that Moogle. Okay, well for now, I'm going to go in with this setup. Yeah, we'll use red edges still. Doesn't matter, it's fine. And I guess I'll go back and look at the cost one later on. That's an interesting little term there. I guess they're trying to get us to use, or trying to get us variation in quest restrictions. So, alright. I mean, it's something new, I guess, but I don't know. It's an odd little cavat to add into that one. That was, what, 5? This is number 5? Okay. And then we can continue to do okay that way. Yeah, we're doing pretty good for that one. Alright. Actually, did I put in the wrong setup? No, I didn't. I'm just using the power one with my fairy stars. Okay. That makes sense. Sorry, guys. Again, still dealing with that persistent cough from allergies. Okay. So the enemies are fairly strong. They're almost at the approaching level where triple threat won't work on them. And triple threat is making a bigger comeback into the game due to PvP. Which is making it very interesting in terms of how you're going to space your medals out. I've been coming to find with PvP. Like, one of the best ways to do things in this game right now is to put like triple threat or defense boost on your stained glass medals. The downside of that is the stained glass medals deal damage. They do have a very strong, well, not super strong, but they have a very decent multiplier. And I'm having problems myself personally, kind of like reconciling what I want to do in terms of balancing out PvP and still being effective with medals like that in the game. One thing I'm looking at in particular is do I want to put those skills on these medals and lose out on their multiplier? I mean, that's actually been a thing that I've been kind of like contemplating. It's kind of tricky in terms of thinking like, you know, hey, what are you going to do about this? Because you're in a lot of ways, you're kind of pained by what you decide to do there. I may actually end up running out of SP in this one. I picked the wrong keyblade for one. Yep, that's disappointing. Because somehow I picked my fairy star instead of my dart now. Okay, let's go and just redo this real quick. Well, he did get attack plus. Let's see if I can actually take him out. Oh, nowhere near enough, yeah. Okay, so this is going to end this one. I'll go redo it real fast. Basically, I do kind of want to talk about this. It's like, this is, I guess, the daily challenge quest, and also talking about the state of PvP and like kind of what it's doing to the game. So stained glass medals now it's a valid option to use them for triple threat 2, triple threat, and defense boost skills, like DB3 max, defense boost 4 and 5, so on and so forth. It's not a bad idea to use those things. The only downside to that I've been finding as of late is basically you don't want to lose a multiplier power. You kind of want to put like attack boost on those medals because they do damage. One thing that kind of offsets that a little bit is the fact that they do damage the most part in the higher the slot number. Higher the slot number is where they do their best damage overall. But there are times you're going to face enemies that are going to be stronger than stronger basically defense at the very start there. So even then, your stained glass medal will only do like 1 damage or low damage regardless. That's kind of the way it ends up being with that situation. So that's kind of like a difference there. But then you also fight enemies too that are kind of like this, where you fight them and you're like, okay, I'm going through this and dealing with it, and they come out easier from that one. They die quicker because they don't have as much defense on them. So it kind of like varies off between all that. So it's kind of like here, since I'm dealing 1 damage. Granted, it's an off attribute type, which makes sense. But in that case, you know, having like defense boost 3 or like triple threat on that particular medal there isn't such a bad thing, because it kind of like balances out in a lot of ways. So I'm kind of like looking at that going, okay, how's this going to work out for me? What am I going to do in terms of this one? How am I going to handle this one? That kind of thing, you know? It's getting a little tricky in that regard, unfortunately. I mean, and I'll get it eventually. It's not an issue in that regard. But it's kind of like balancing out those kind of things. And then you have to look at PvP. PvP is becoming a very, very important part of the game. I'm not sure if many of you have seen this or not, but the 7-star medals are getting a multiplier buff, guys. A multiplier buff, and a big one. So if you guys go and watch Smelly Octopus's video that he posted earlier today, where he talked about PvP and like that glitch that's been happening, and I am very sorry to the players that are affected. Basically, it's when they were running PvP, I guess the last hour before the reset, it kind of like locked their equipment in, and they're stuck. Like, if you see them, they're still running like Dark Gnaw and 3 Wishes and such, and they can't get out of it. So I don't think they've even been able to run the the current PvP for this week. So they've lost out on like daily quest jewels and such, which really sucks. But if you watch the video, he explains and shows it, and even some like, you know, Twitter postings and some of the fans have shown it. The multiplier increase for some of those medals is ridiculous, and I'm not sure if that's going to impact like in the higher up ones, like the tier 5, 6, 7, and 8s or not, but it might. It looks like it. That's a huge, huge increase, and so that's going to make PvP even more important to everybody overall, because you're running into this a lot more. People who are able to compete in PvP are going to have a much easier time dealing with those medals, and they're going to have those stronger medals with those stronger multipliers. So you kind of have to pause and go, okay, is losing the damage off the stained glass medals worthwhile in order to properly rank in PvP? That's going to be a very important thing we're going to have to look at. It's going to have a lot of impact going forward into the game. It's something that, again, I'm strongly looking at myself right now. So stuff like that I've been kind of thinking about, excuse me guys, kind of thinking about in terms of like, how am I going to approach the game up to a point, and like, you know, where are my medals going to go to? Again, it's getting to the point where I might end up stacking certain medals. Yeah, it costs 129. Okay, so you can go back and do that later on. It's getting to the point where I'm going to go back and look at medals, and I may stack those medals that I have with like triple threat or some of my defense boosts on them, and I may very well put them on, ooh, that's not bad, I may very well put them on my stained glass medals now, on certain ones. It's a strong possibility at this point in time looking at that, because PvP is that important to the state of the game. It's having that much of an impact on the game, and it's something that we all need to, like, you know, really, really look at. So that's kind of it. I mean, I did kind of want to talk about that while I went into this daily challenge quest and see what these are like. The Kavat there for the 129 or less, I'm sure can easily be done. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you wanted to, we can go into like Fenrir, for instance, and take a look at that real fast, just so we can. We'll make a quick setup for that. Okay, so. Okay, so it's 120 or less. I'm at 180. You have 20 on you. Actually, making us use our Sid medals. You have 20 on you. You have 10, so I can get 30. I'm going 50. So I might be able. Actually, hang on, let's check it out. I mean, I might be able to do it. Do it here. Cost. There we go. Let's throw 2 10s in real fast. Cat is, as always, super needy, because she's cat. That's what she does. She's needy. On that one, because you already have 10. Okay, so we are this one as well. Hi, cat. 129. Okay, so that should... Up. Literally by 1. Okay. Maybe else is at 20. There's no other mixing there. 120. So basically they're wanting you to use... maybe like a 5-star version or something? Because this doesn't count right here. Your pet stop doesn't count to your cost. Alright, so I mean, basically, if you have a full setup that has full cost on it, it'll be at 130. I think it does. Let's go ahead and just confirm that. I mean, we'll put the 20 here. I mean, I have no reason not to. We have so many SIDs coming into the game. It's not really an impact. Okay. So still 130? Yeah, 130 still. So basically, you can come through and just put like a 5-star medal there or something like that. You should be fine. And it'll be okay. So come through here, for instance, and we'll go to upright, and we will put 5-star, and okay, it's one of them, so that's fine. We'll put mega there. Yeah, 118. So you're good for that one. So you can go to that real fast and eke it out. I'm pretty sure what setup you guys are going to be running, it's going to be okay. You guys can figure out what will run best there for you, and just pick and choose from there. That's another one. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's kind of what I want to talk about in terms of like the PvP and like different setups and everything. Get back to me with you guys' thoughts. How you guys doing in PvP? How it's going for you guys in that regard? Do you guys agree with what I said in terms of like the stained glass being used for like triple threat or like defense boost skills? Because there are certain medals that have like my where here we go. This one didn't trait very well, unfortunately. It has 2 defense boosts and damage and rage. So, honestly, even though it has a AB3 max SPH 2 on it, I wouldn't mind taking that off and putting, like, a triple threat 2. Or putting, like, a defense boost max skill on him because of that. That's a possibility, because he's not traded very well. And then there are those medals that are a little different. Like, for instance, my Stained Glass 6. She did trait well. She has extra attack, max gauge, and damage and rage. Not bad. Honestly, I wouldn't mind putting like a max Lux skill in there. It'd probably go really well. Not like a Lux plus plus but maybe like an AB4 max. Something like that would probably fit on her really, really well. Later on in the future, and she also has that 4.6 multiplier, which is actually pretty good. But I kind of have to think of utility as well. PvP does impact your choices now because you do need the tickets to get those medals upgraded. So it's this kind of stuff I've been thinking about and just going through and kind of want to talk about. So I've rambled on long enough. We're going to end it here. Don't forget tonight, guys, if you guys are going to do any purchasing for your inventory to increase, storage increaser here, it is there, guys. It's on sale. The sales do not happen on the storage very often, like hardly ever. I think we had like maybe 2 or 3 last year at the most in the entire year time period. So if you guys are going to invest a little bit in that one, now's a great time to do so. Give yourself a little more wiggle room for your inventory if you guys need it. If you guys don't feel you need it, if you guys run just fine where you're at and everything for how you guys purchasing the game and such, don't worry about it. No big deal. But it would behoove for you to do a few, a little bit of increase there every now and then. Nice thing. And tonight is the last night of it, so just be aware of that one. But other than that, guys, that's going to be it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. There we go. See ya.